Hello there and welcome to a new Saber Factory tutorial. Today it is a big one because it concerns the new 1.3 XENO3 firmware upgrade. If you haven't already, go update your version of the app and then take any XENO3 Saber that you have and you can now upgrade up to V1.3, which is the latest update as of today. We are mid-May 2024. And this update brings not only a new design for the app, but it also brings new functions that are available here and there, the custom function and the custom font. And there will be a second video posted this week also about the font customizer in the app, but this video will focus mainly on, absolutely only actually, on the function customizer. The function customizer allows you to set every control of your saber towards any function that you want, and to choose to have the simplest working saber or the most complex saber ever. Basically, when you enter this menu, you see your default function. You cannot change it. So you don't have to be afraid of messing with the base function of your saber. Everything that you know that works a certain way will always work that way because the default function cannot be modified. But you can create other custom functions. So basically here, to create a new one, so you see I already have a test function mode. You create a new one by clicking new, and from there you name it. So I'm going to name it simple, because what we're going to do today is demo how to create a simple mode, I would say a basic mode, that I would want to use in, let's say, a performance setup. When I have a simple duel or performance or choreography that I want to do, and I don't want any mess up. I don't want to click on accident and have suddenly like a lightning block starting. I don't want a motion control turning off my saber. I don't want all of that. So good, I'm going to confirm. And now I can click the settings wheel next to simple. And I see two states at the top, blade on or blade off. Blade on means what happens when my blade is on. Every time I click or move the saber or clash or twist and do a motion control, what happens when I do that. And blade off is when the blade is off. So let's start with the basics of constructing a function. You will see it is super easy. It is a graphic interface that allows you to attribute a function to a control. So blade off, I want to be able to ignite my blade. So it is the out function, blade out. Now it's empty. I'm going to, so the blade state is either the blade is pointing up, horizontal, or down. Empty means any of those. So right now I want to be able to ignite my saber no matter the position of the blade. So I'm going to leave it empty. I'm going to add a control which says when you click one time, then the blade comes out. So as simple as that. If I click once, the blade comes out. So this is my first control. And then when my blade is on, I want to be able to retract the blade. So blade in. The blade state again empty. Doesn't matter where I'm pointing the blade. And I'm going to choose that I want to hold for 2 seconds. And now when I hold the button for 2 seconds, when the blade is on, I will have my blade retract, come in. So that's my basic. Now I can turn in and off my saber. Something else, so those are very simple controls. I want other basic controls like the flash on clash and the blaster deflect. So clash is here, when my blade is on. And again, doesn't matter if my blade is up, down, or horizontal. I just want to add a control, and basically it is a motion control. That's the motion for clash. So when the saber detects a clash, well, it will activate the clash sounds. Same thing for blaster. How do I get the blaster sound effect? Well, when I add the control click. When I click, it adds the blaster sound effect. So now, interesting question. What is the difference between each time and one time? So each time can only be used if you do not have any other control that requires to press multiple times the button. Or else there would be a conflict. Each time is super reactive. It means anytime you know the button is pressed, boom, 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 you send the function. So I could want to have my blaster deflect be super reactive and be like, pew, 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 pew. Sorry for the sound effect. Go watch the video about me making a sound font with the new function with my voice, and you'll have your daily dose of shitty sound effect. So each time is super reactive. One time, it is going to add a little delay for the saber to calculate if there was another trigger. And if there is another trigger, then it will wait for it to activate that function. So here, I actually plan on using my saber with multiple triggers. So I will not use each time, but I will use one time. So now, if I click once, the saber will wait a little bit, so there will be a little delay, and produce, the delay is honestly 500 milliseconds. It's nothing. It's not, well, no, it is still something, but it's not too bad. I think it's even lower than that. So basically, now I can save top right corner, my preset, and if I go back, I can click use. And now I'm using the simple profile. So if I turn my saber on, I have set that pressing 2 seconds, 1, 2, turns the saber off. And I have set my clash motion control as well as my blaster function. So clash and my blaster function, simple press. But you see there is a delay. See, I had time to remove my finger already. And as I said, there is a reason for that, is because I plan on using a function where I press twice. You see, when I press twice, what happens? Nothing happened, because the saber knows that pressing twice is different from pressing once. So there will not be a blaster deflect if I press multiple times. It is waiting for this to produce something, but right now it is not producing anything. So let's get there. For now, we're only working with simple single functions. And let's continue, and then we will see more complex functions, combined controls, multiple controls later on. So what I want to do is, let's say I want to have a force effect. Now I want to use 2 consecutive actions to launch one effect. So I'm going to take blade state empty, and so I would have wanted to have like one click and then I push the saber. But if I choose that, you can see that there is a conflict. It's in red, and I cannot save it because the one click is already used. So now what I need to do is like choose 3 times, because this one is not already in use. And now if I use it 3 times and then push it 1, 2, 3, I have my force effect. Again, 1, 2, 3. And now I have my force effect. So you can combine effects that are to be done together, and you can have effects that need for you to press or perform actions consecutively. So these are the different ways you can attribute a function, a single function, single action, or different functions that could all do it. You just choose the one you prefer. A quick example of that is here I have pre-programmed a double control for the lock effect. So when you take any effect, you can add a combined control. And this is a combined control. Here I have two controls. The first one is when I hold the main button and clash the saber, it will do the saber lock effect. But also I have a second control, which is, for me here, it's a backup. If I press 2 times, then my saber will enter in lock effect. And so you can see I hold the button. So this is my lock effect. And I also have a backup. It is my sub control. I press 2 times and I got my lock effect. So that is a way to have multiple controls for the same action. Or you can have sub-controls, meaning things that you do together, pressing, moving. So to demonstrate very easily what is a sub-control, here another demo, I have a melt effect, and the melt effect works when you hold the main switch and at the same time you push the saber. So if I turn my saber on, if I do those two actions at the same time, holding the switch and pushing the saber, I have my melt effect. So this is a sub-control. So those are the different ways to perform actions. And one last thing, when your blade is off, now you can have your battery level with a voice command. You simply have to give it a function. Let's say you click 2 times, and now when your blade is off and you click 2 times, so I'm going to let it load, and now if I click 2 times,
battery level 66%.
So that's a new function because now the app doesn't show you the full SOC on the menu. You don't really need to, but you can have it as a function. So there you have it. This is how you can customize your function with your saber, make, let's say, a very personal control on your saber, or have a lighter way to control your saber for, let's say, a performance or whatever. Anyway, it is more control on your lightsaber. This is the new upgrade on the XENO3 firmware, and don't hesitate to watch the other videos about the other functions and follow the channel on YouTube. Leave a like and find us on thesaberfactory.com. I hope this gave you all the information you needed. I'll talk to you soon in the next tutorial. May the force be with you.